go around that side. I'll just show you.
Oh yeah, let's go check it out.
It looks pretty unassuming on the front side. Like a lot of folks just walk by it.
Yeah.
But then you can flip it up.
Oh yeah, that is super cool. Today, you must have thought for a second, because we haven't had any haunted house YouTube videos, that we've given up on it, but we have not. We plan on visiting multiple more haunted houses like all spring. So make sure you like and subscribe to the Hauntworld channel, because we are documenting the best haunted houses in America. And where are we at, Riley?
Dark hour.
And we're gonna meet up with Alan Hops. Is they have a really cool sign. A lot of haunts don't have a cool sign. It says, look at this like wrapped van they have. A nice wrapped van. We've heard so many great things, and if you don't know anything about Alan Hops, he has a YouTube page where he does a lot of how-to videos, and he has a lot of followers, and we're here to get some big news, in case you didn't hear, and he's going to give us a tour of the whole place. So this is another video where a haunter takes you through a haunt. Who are you?
My name's Teddy.
Teddy, what do you do here?
I am the assistant casting director during season. Off season, I handle a lot of the scenic, and I'm multi.
You could have just said greeter for today.
Yes, I'm. Hello.
He's the greeter for today, because he just greeted us. He opened the door. That was very nice. So is this your gift store here, Teddy?
Yes, that's the gift shop.
And look who's over here.
Hello.
Mr. Alan Hops.
Howdy.
And what's your name?
Boston Pettit.
Boston? Oh, what an interesting name. Alan, we have traveled all the way from St. Louis, like I haven't slept in over a day.
Good, coherent questions.
Yes, you expect good, coherent questions. I asked Alan, I said, Alan, we're trying to tour some of the haunts that we've heard. You do a lot of videos, and you do seminars, and you travel the country, and you teach acting, and you sell masks and all kinds of stuff. And so we wanted to know more about your haunted house here. You're just the art director, right?
That was true up until actually a couple of days ago. My wife and I and my former boss, Mike Ortiz, we actually got together. We just purchased Dark Hour Haunted House.
So you're the owner.
So now I am an owner of Dark Hour Haunted House.
Well, that is amazing news.
It's exciting.
Did you have a meeting with your staff?
We told the staff yesterday.
How excited were they?
They were pretty excited. It's always you're always a little bit nervous giving big news like that, but they took it very well.
Oh my gosh, that's like so exciting. I'm so happy for you.
It's good.
And now you're going to be seeing things from a different lens, or are you going to keep seeing it from the same lens?
It's a bit of a different lens. It's different when the soldiers you're moving across the field, are your soldiers.
Now that you own the haunted house, and everything is your fault, everything is your responsibility, do you think you'll still do a lot of how-to videos and like that kind of thing online? You're going to do more?
Way more.
Way more?
Because now, one of the reasons I bought Dark Hour was because doing what I was doing, I've had the past 2 Octobers I've been in the hospital for stress-related injuries. It's all haunt stress. It's all season stress. It's all that kind of stuff. And I've been doing a lot of what I've been doing alone, because I was doing my 40 to 60 hours a week at Stilt Beast. And then I was doing 40 to 60 hours a week here too. And I'm getting a little older, so I'm incorporating the downtime of Dark Hour to use that staff to do help with my Stilt Beast stuff.
So whenever you film Stilt Beast stuff for your YouTube page or your Patreon, do you film it here or do you film it at your house?
I have been filming it at my home shop, and I'll continue to do both, because it's super easy to set up a camera at the house and just go when you're by yourself. It's easier to get things done sometimes. So probably half my content will be shot at the house. I have a shop there, and then the other half will be shot here. So probably during the workday, we'll have 2 or 3 cameras going, filming different, YouTube videos and content for all the other stuff.
How far do you live from here?
About an hour.
An hour?
About an hour.
Wow.
Away.
Now that you own the place, are you going to consider like moving closer?
No, because the hour drive I want, because by the time I get home, I'm done thinking work thoughts. If I lived 5 minutes away, I'd still be thinking about work.
Now, I went to a haunted house recently. You may have heard of it, called Hell's Gate.
Yep.
And he lives very far from the haunt as well, so he built himself like a bedroom, like he's got like a room at the haunted house. Now that you own it, would you consider doing something like that?
Probably not.
Probably not?
I really like my house.
You
My
really
dogs,
yeah.
and yeah, it's worth going home. Even when you close at 2 a.m, it's still worth that drive to get there.
So is this where people come in, or do they exit here?
This is actually the exit lobby. The exit to the haunted house is right here, these 2 double doors.
Oh, okay.
And let's walk across.
Whoa, look at this. That is really cool. Is that your
my
office?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Look at all those cool masks. Godzilla.
I like monsters.
Yes, you do.
My life is...
Did you paint that yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a YouTube video on it.
And what are all these?
All right, so this is a poster for every off-season show that we did, every show that we did. Each one of these is a separate show with a separate marketing campaign. In the beginning, in 2013, we did 8 shows that year. We did 8 shows for 3 years. And then we pared it back to 6 shows. And then we pared it back right before 2020. We pared it back to 4 shows throughout the year. And then October. So, but it wasn't a huge profit center. It kept the crew busy, but it didn't make enough money to do too much of that. So instead, I'm going to go on a pattern where I'm going to open on Friday the 13th, because those are kind of random. And I think that's a good way to get energy about it without having to be once you run out of holidays, you run out of holidays at St. Patrick's Day. And then it's really hard to find something during, like, Arbor Day haunted house,
So how many year-round staff did you have prior to you owning it, and how many do you plan
20.
on? 20 year-round?
Yeah.
And then how many do you plan on having less now that you own it?
We have less. Right now we're about 14.
14. Are you going to maintain that?
I'll probably maintain that. We may pair off a little bit depending upon what happens and how things go. And who does what. If we take on more of our own marketing, then I'd probably keep more people. But if we don't, then...
So 14, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
What are these 14? What do they do?
Now that Stilt Beast, now that they're joined, and this hasn't even happened yet, but it's happening now, I have this great seasonal plan where right now we're building an escape room. So we have to build another escape room because we have the area for it. So we will have 2 escape rooms.
Are they going to be like year-round escapes?
Yes.
Okay.
So some of those people will help work that. The plan is to turn that exit lobby you just came in to like a year-round high-end Halloween store.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Masks that we have made, nice things that are Halloween related. So anybody who loves Halloween who comes into town might want to go there. Or if you come here for the escape room, you might buy something.
So how many square feet is this building?
Just under 50,000.
Are you using all 50?
Pretty much. There's a spot under my desk. I haven't put anything yet, but I'm going to do that.
So your year-round staff, what are they, like carpenters?
We have a couple folks who are builders, but in the grand scheme of things, Dark Hour is almost done. And so 2 years out from now, I'll only be changing 10 to 13% of the show each time. We have, our backstory is a coven of witches, of 13 witches. And what happens is each year I will kill one of those witches, trade it out. So whatever that new witch is, that's the thing I hype for October. It might be a sea witch, and then Scary Mermaids are the poster child and whatnot. So.
What is your favorite horror movie?
Probably The Wolfman.
Oh, okay.
But Pumpkinhead is huge. I love Pumpkinhead. Monster Squad is awesome. That's in my top 5,
Because, hey, folks, look what's right behind his desk. That's a Monster Squad poster right there. You have tons of Godzilla. Did you like the new Godzilla movies? Just by the way.
Okay, do you mean new?
The new ones. The new series.
It's always fun to watch big monsters destroy stuff.
Which one was your favorite?
If they took out Godzilla versus Kong, because King Kong is my boy. This is a newspaper from 1933 with an original King Kong ad.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, so I'm kind of a King Kong fan, a Godzilla fan.
But let me tell you something, okay? Like, I didn't like the King Kong Godzilla because King Kong stands no chance versus Godzilla. 0.
Well, I'm going to disagree. Because King Kong is a primate.
Yeah.
King Kong is a great ape. And Godzilla is a lizard.
Is this where they come in?
So this is where guests come in to buy tickets. They come in through this door, and we have a projector so we can change up the graphics and stuff. And
so you play like
prices and
Do you like play that from a video screen?
Yeah, the projector's right up there.
Oh, okay, I see it.
So that's the screen for it. They come in here, they buy tickets if they haven't bought online. If they buy online, they just go right in line. And there's a whole line system outside over there. So they'll come in, buy their ticket, go out this door, down the side of the building, and into the line.
What percentage of your guests at this point are online versus buying at the door?
Probably 65, 70.
Okay.
And some of that it's probably more like 50-50 until they get here. And then in their car, they'll buy their ticket. Because we see a lot of people buy tickets right here on their phones. There's a curtain over this, so this is just blacked out because the guests go out that door and they come in back down here. So there's the side of the building.
And I think like in your original logos and stuff, you always had the clock tower. So is that part of the...
Well, the Dark Hour is a spell that the 13 witches, they have to harness enough fear energy to do the spell, and that's why they have the haunted house. And once they cast that spell, it is a eternal eclipse.
So do you try to tell this story?
No, not really. I show them cool stuff.
Is this supposed to be like a photo op over here?
Actually, she gets programmed for the shows, and she'll tell the rules sometimes.
Oh, cool.
We use it for different things, but it is a source of information and a photo op.
What percentage of your actors are like trying to be startle actors versus like actors who have lines?
I try to keep it about 50% startle jump out tactics, and then there's a certain percentage of puppeteers, a certain percentage of what I call story actors, and those are the ones who are propelling the story forward a little bit, talking to guests.
Okay, cool.
So I build escape rooms.
Oh,
do
cool.
Tech and media team.
Oh, okay. So are you excited about the escape rooms?
Yeah.
But let me ask you, Alan, what are the themes of your escape rooms going to be? Are you going to keep them haunted?
I'm going to keep them dark.
What are the themes going to be?
First one, let's call it an interdimensional treehouse.
Okay.
The second one is probably going to, I'm not going to reveal that.
How many square feet are they going to be each?
1,500 or so square feet.
Oh, those are big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's big.
How many do you plan total? Like
2.
2? That's
right
it?
now, 2. If they start doing gangbusters, I might find room to do another one, but right now, 2.
I mean, like, so like if you build 2 at 1,500 square feet, you would only have enough room for one more, you're saying?
I could squeeze a couple in.
Okay.
Yeah, I could squeeze a few.
So this is where they
I
start
want
right
you to go
here?
in the bathroom.
Oh, you go in the bathroom.
I want you to go in the bathroom.
You want me to go in the
We have the
bathroom?
nicest bathrooms in haunting.
Okay. Let's go check out the bathroom.
You're at a haunted house. It's a real tile bathroom.
Yes, it is very nice.
And as far as bathrooms go, pretty.
Yeah, you know what you need though? You need to make that a two-way mirror, and then when they put their face in it, you see
I think that's illegal, having a two-way mirror in a room.
No, like they used to do it at Jekyll and Hyde.
Well, you could put a monitor behind it. And
Yeah.
the monitor scares.
Yeah.
Like a Bloody Mary.
They had like a, like just like a fake character, and then it would switch over, and you get a scream in the mirror. It's kind of funny.
So outside, we have a spot for line, and they do stuff outside. We have music outside and actors and such. And then they're scanned outside, and then they come in, and then they come in these doors, and this is kind of a holding area for people, and we can pulse this area into the stage room, which is the last area before they go in. So we can hold about 100 people in here, we hold about 100 people over here, and on rainy nights, we'll just make the line run in here to get them out of the weather.
Cool.
Let's go
How fast do you put the customers in?
So when we are rocking and rolling, 6 people every 30 seconds.
And what is this? Like, wow, this is very organized. I don't think I've ever seen many haunts like where everything was so organized, because haunts are so chaotic.
So I don't want chaos.
Yeah,
I
see that.
We're not chaotic. We could not do 8 shows a year if we didn't know everything was. Everything kind of has to have a place and has to go back to it. To clean, you have to keep it organized so that
Everything's
we can keep
labeled.
doing it.
And then,
it takes more time, but you can put your hands on things.
so does your whole show run off of amps? And like everything's back here?
So most of our show control is done through a board. For the sound, we use QSC, which is we can digitally send sound to any speaker. For the show itself, it's on a Chamsys Magic Cube Pro 2 board, and all of the lights in the show are color mixing DMX. So we can control the flicker, we can control the brightness. We have a lot of the Gantums. We have a lot of Source 4, the big theater lights. A lot of this, and one of the reasons why it's so laid out is we did all of those off-season shows. And for those off-season shows, you move gags around a lot. So when you move gags around, you have to have all the components ready. Everything is going to be a controller of some kind, a trigger of some kind, and then the effect. So whatever those things are, you have to have those components ready to move around.
Wow, I mean, I have to say, it's very organized. One of these days I'm going to like maybe get to 1/10 your level.
We have almost 100 cameras in the building. Each one of those has their own IP address. A lot of the lights have their own IP address, and those server racks are in here. We have some other server racks for other things, but the control for that witch.
Oh, okay.
So we can change, it's on a timer unless we change it and make it go when we need it to.
Awesome. And you got water fountains.
Yes. Yeah, we didn't take them out during COVID.
And so I'm assuming you got like some kind of show over here?
So we used to do a stage show with actors on the stage talking about the show that they were about to see when we did all of the off-season shows. Now our throughput is such in October, and we're mostly focusing on October. So we have to have a higher throughput solution. So we have a LED panel screen. We're actually
I didn't even notice that, yeah.
For next year, we're going to move the witch into here. That will interact with the characters on the LED screen. They'll interact with the witch.
Do you have this so you can like have fog and
Fog up
lights,
through it and
lights
stuff.
and fog and
Absolutely.
stuff?
One of these is a hatch also, so that an actor can pop up behind the fog screen.
Awesome. Boy, that's one serious set of speakers there.
What we have is a great infrastructure. In the very beginning, we did it as right as we could out of the gate. This guy can.
Wow.
This controls the show.
Yeah.
And this is a second board, and this board controls the stage. We have 7 DMX universes between the whole show, the stage.
You got lighting
and the
rigs. I mean, it's just like, it's crazy, Alan.
lights. We want to make a good show.
No, I see that. So, Alan, how many years have you guys been, I mean, like what we're seeing is how many years of work?
This will be our 10th October here.
10th.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you guess has been spent to create this place?
6-7 million.
6-7 million. Okay.
So this is the button when you get the guest to turn that corner, you hit the button. There's the lights right there. It's a timer you can get from Fright Props.
Yep.
And you can adjust the time on it. Normally we do 30 seconds in October. We might go to 45. The biggest we'll ever do on an off season is like 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Yeah.
And then how many people do you let in at a time on a crazy Saturday?
If it's absolutely crazy, I might go to 8. You won't have lights in this little section because there's a roof overhead.
Hold on, I have a light. It's like just enough.
That's a fun scare.
Yeah, that is a fun scare.
So that particular scare right there, I worked at Spooky World in 2000. And at that time, John Burton was building the Elvira haunted house that they had out at Spooky World.
Yeah, where is John Burton now?
He lives in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay, cool.
He was out here a couple weeks ago.
Does he help you?
No, but it's nice to talk to him.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of stories.
Yeah.
This room is really weird right now because we're about to do a Friday the 13th show. Mm-hmm. So this monitor is for the Friday the 13th show, and all this is dark. But during season, this is a portrait gallery for the witches, because these are all 13 witches of the Dark Hour Coven.
Dragon Witch.
There's a group shot back there behind that.
There's the nun.
Ish.
She's a scary looking character.
You know what? I hadn't seen a lot of scary things in a bonnet, and that's why I went with that Puritan style clothing. And when we designed the witches, silhouette was the most important thing. Each one has her own unique silhouette. So to get her own unique silhouette, is that bonnet hat worked out really well. Some things are a little weird, like this is blocked off. Normally that's a doorway, but it's blocked off for this Friday the 13th show.
How many haunt owners do you have pop in every year?
Maybe 100.
100?
Yeah.
Do they let you
throughout the year?
Yeah.
They'll normally give me some advance notice and say, hey, I'm coming out. I'll be in the neighborhood. I said, come on, give you a tour. So this material is something that we kind of worked in-house. This is styrofoam beads from EPS, because you can buy it by the bag from EPS manufacturers, mixed with drywall joint coating and latex paint with flame retardant in it. You can hold a torch on this for like 20, 30 seconds. It melts out the styrofoam beads, and then you have this honeycomb of the drywall joint compound, which just disperses the heat really well, and it won't catch.
So how long is the haunted house? Like once you get inside, I mean.
36,000 square feet.
36,000. Yeah, that's big.
We have a lot of the building dedicated to other stuff. You know, we get about 26, 27 minutes out of it.
You love bricks.
I do. Well, in this section.
And you like, coating them.
Texture.
Yeah,
I like
texturing
texture.
them.
A lot of this was built in the beginning. Like a lot of those walls in there was built in the beginning. This is from the beginning. This is 13 years old, that wall. This outer wall is 13 years old here.
The other thing I noticed too is you like, the original darkness. We used to do the same thing where you could see through something and see people walking past.
Yes.
When it was in the original building, it was like that. Is this an actor scare here?
Yes. Yeah. I'll hit it. It's a drop down. So yeah, it's a nice pop. Any haunt that I do it's Swiss cheese. There are holes everywhere for actors. I'm pretty actor driven in general, just because of who I am.
And I see you got another one here.
Yeah, step into here.
Is John Burton like a big inspiration to you?
Coming up,
Because like when he was like promoting the whole crossover thing, and
I worked at Terror on Church Street. I worked at Skull Kingdom, and
I know David
John
Clevenger.
Burton was a big gun. John Denley was a big gun. You're a big gun.
Did you work for David Clevenger?
I did.
Yeah, dude, like me and David Clevenger were friends.
Yeah.
I was the only person he ever let come into the place and film, and he says, Larry, you can only film the lobby,
Yeah.
and the gift store, right? David Clevenger was like the funniest person I think I've ever met.
He is a character.
Yes.
For sure.
And I miss Terror on Church Street.
You know what? It's where I grew up.
Yeah.
I
was
learned-
just there.
I learned so much there.
I went to an Orlando Magic game,
Yeah.
and, right there where Terror on Church Street was. Every time I would go to Orlando, it would be like the highlight, going
Yeah.
over there and talking to David and hanging out with
And
him.
right from Terror on Church Street, I went to Skull Kingdom, and I was there for a while. And then I left Florida in 2001 and came to Texas.
So what I'm seeing here is like an actor can come over there,
They can
over
work a
there.
puppet.
Yep.
They can work a puppet, get this button, the door's open, the speaker goes off, and then this big head that we made in-house, comes and...
What percentage of masks and costumes and props do you make yourself?
I'm going to say 90. It's probably closer to 95%.
Because I've seen like some distortion stuff, some Scare Factory stuff.
Anything you see, some Scare Factory stuff and distortion stuff from the beginning, and with the help of a welder and a lot of willpower, you can keep those things going. So we have some of those from the beginning year. We didn't have time to make anything. It's not cost effective to make an animation start to finish. You're better off buying it from somebody and then redressing it.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah. But this actor has a hit,
Yep.
a hit behind you.
Yep.
They can open this door over here behind you.
Yeah,
And
you got it going on.
From here, they can get a hit here. So you almost get to know the group.
But how many actors would you have in that room right there? Just one?
On a yellow night, we'd have one actor. And then on a red night, we'd do two actors because they just work better when there's two of them and they can high five after a fun group or whatever.
And I really noticed that you love pumpkins.
So this is the area of Halloween, and she is the Halloween witch.
Oh,
She's the
okay.
child-eating Halloween witch. So yes, her area is a lot of pumpkins. And in years to come, we'll add more like Halloween Town elements to this area. But this is enough for now. We had to move on and go to the next thing, and we'll just keep adding to it.
Did you make that one?
Nope. We made the base in order to make this look nice. This is from
Midnight Studios? Okay.
You know Ed Gannon? That's
Yeah.
a cast of his head that I made into a gypsy woman.
Oh my God, does he know that?
Yes.
That is hilarious. Ed Gannon was just in St. Louis.
Yeah, he was doing some kind of an install.
Yeah, for a guy named Josh. So yeah, you got the whole gypsy thing going on in here. And one of the things I noticed, you lowered the ceiling and you also put the sprinkler heads down into the room. A lot of people wouldn't do that.
Okay, so this space above us is blocked off. A person can't get in there, but a person could get in there. This space, which is 3 foot and then it ramps down, has a sprinkler in it. I want to be one of the safer haunts in the country.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. That's why I pointed it out.
There are reasons to get on the news. Fire is not one of them.
No, I totally agree with you.
So now you are in...
Kind of like a
we've switched
werewolf.
to Baba Lupina, who is the mother of werewolves.
In a very organized way, have like turf, to show you where and where not to walk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Want to guide them.
Yeah.
If you don't guide them, then they move slowly or differently than you want them to. So we try to have all the witches in like elevated positions throughout the show, and this is where Baba Lupina is, so she's elevated. I think everybody who makes shows kind of understands nothing's ever finished. Like the dream of this is that as you're walking up, you'll see projected onto this the shadow of a wolf, and then that wolf transforms. The shadow transforms into a person, and then Baba Lupina steps out.
Oh, okay.
Like, so you can just time that as they walk right here. Quick button hit. Shouldn't be too hard to do. I'll get that done eventually, but it's on the list of things to get done.
I think a lot of people who are like really creative or people who become directors, they would play with toys and they would act out scenes and battles and make them talk.
I still play with toys.
Oh, dude.
Like one of my hobbies is remodeling action figures and repainting them and redesigning them.
You know what I just bought on eBay was the Space Eagle from Space 1999. I just had to have one.
Oh, that's awesome. So I love secret doors. So you see a lot of secret doors through here.
That's very nice. This is a two-way mirror here, but he actually has the center cut out so that the actor can put their face in there. And you can see it, right? During the show.
I can see you really clear.
Do you have a light so they can... Yeah, there you go. Look at that. That's really clever. I like that, Alan.
So this is an area of the haunt we don't even use it. We use it for some of the off-season shows, but you leave it decorated in case you want to use it at some point.
Oh, one of my favorites, Bram Stoker's Dracula. So what's going on here is this is
we have moved into Lalandra the Vampire Witch. So now this is we started her area. These 3 big paintings were actually in the movie The Haunting.
Oh, so
1995. With,
that
Liam
movie.
Neeson, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Is this a scare here? Does an actor come out of there?
No, actors pop out over on that side. And this is a big old subwoofer that does some spooking.
What is your favorite vampire movie?
Well, aside from Bram Stoker's Dracula, gotta go Nosferatu, which is the ripoff of Dracula.
You're talking about the one with
Max von Schreck.
But one of my favorites, and you probably never seen it, is Lady Lamora, A Supernatural Vampire Tale.
I have not seen
that one is awesome, and you should see it because you would like that.
Okay, I will check it out.
And I remember telling Tony Tapone from Fangoria Magazine it was my favorite movie. You couldn't find it anymore, and he sent me a copy of it in the mail.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan of the Paul Naschy werewolf films, and he did a bunch where it was like Wolfman versus the Yeti. And there's one, the Wolfman versus the Vampire Woman. So this is another set, and we kind of modeled this one after the Lost Boys. They're underneath the hotel area. We kind of modeled this area after that.
So does an actor work up here? And
yes, they're on this platform.
And I see there's a pressure pad.
There's a pedal there for them to hit, and that just makes the whole room kind of come alive and make noise. Got big speakers in here. There's light bars behind those black bands.
Yeah, and I see there's a bunch of dead bodies on them.
Yeah, just some fun gore. With a little bit of detail to catch their eye for an actor to hit them.
You know, another thing I noticed about your haunt is like everywhere we turn, like you're trying to make a second floor, like another level, because what is your ceiling like, 30 feet?
No, I've got
25?
3-foot ceilings through most of it.
It's really high ceiling.
The other end, I've only got like an 18-foot ceiling because I got a slight ramp on the roof. But if you, right here, this area, that's the porch. Mm-hmm. So this actor gets a scare on this side.
Oh yeah, like back where we started.
And they have a button here to do a monitor scare here, which just looks like a mirror, but there's a TV back there behind it. And we do mostly custom for our monitor scares.
This looks like the top of a piano.
Yeah, all right. So originally in the big room that had the coffins in it, the foyer we call it, this piano was in the middle of the room, and a chandelier would fall and land on the top of the piano, and that was the scare.
So it is a piano.
It is a piano. This is one of the Ghost Ride pianos.
So, and where'd you get these from?
Bought from Ghost Ride.
Ghost Ride made those?
Yes.
Did they make these too?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
We cut the legs off of it and made it a wall barrier.
These mannequins, did you watch the video that I did on Haunted Overload?
Yes.
Like, oh, you're a haunted house. Like, do you want mannequins? I'm like, I don't want mannequins. Okay, then I seen his haunt and what he did with all those mannequins.
And now you want mannequins.
They were scary as hell. Like, everywhere you're walking, there's mannequins. You have no idea.
This one actually gets pretty good scares. When we're open, a lot of the time I'll kind of dress up and hang out, but I'll go where I know there aren't actors, so I'll hang out right here, and then I can get scares as they turn this corner, but they always stop and look at that mannequin, and you can just get a quick pop on this wall right by their head, and then that's a good scare.
How many big haunts are in the Dallas market?
Big?
I guess Six Flags does something.
Nowadays, you have Six Flags, you have Screams, you have Cutting Edge, you have Reindeer Manor, Moxley Manor, you have Parker House.
Didn't
So
you
let's
build a
say
haunted
us, so 7 big ones.
Yeah, we actually built a haunted house for Six Flags here.
Oh, that's cool.
So I think this is our second or third time.
I built a couple puppet push heads.
Are these just like right from like
These are
Home Depot?
Plastic Home Depot skeletons, and you just build your wall panel section in 2-foot pieces, and you heat gun the crap out of the skeleton so you can pose it, and then you just fill in with spray foam around it and wet it down and then mush it so it looks a little less spray foamy. And this is all, it looks bad in this light. This is all painted for black.
And what about this? Did you make that yourself, or?
No.
It looks really cool.
I don't
It's a
know
nice
where
little
this-
corner piece.
You just collect pieces over the years.
Yeah, I know.
don't even
Tell
know
me
where this
about
guy's
it.
from. But he's that hard black foam.
Yeah.
So that tells me he might be a Ghost Ride. He might be a Scare Factory. I don't know. But it was probably part of something else, and I cut it up with a saw.
You know, the other thing I really like about your haunted house, Alan, is you're keeping everything at minimum 12 feet tall.
I try, and then sometimes I bring it down. Like here, we brought it down to 8, but we're going to bring it back up.
But either way, whether I'm talking about like you still have a wall up there.
Yeah.
Whenever people have an 8-foot wall, and by the way, this is like, if you're watching this, I've been preaching this in my videos for years, that whenever you have an 8-foot wall, which is what most people do, it loses the illusion because you can see over the top of it.
Yeah, you want a buffer, and also this helps with light bleed. It helps with sound bleed,
Yeah.
believe it or not.
And even if you just go 2 more feet, it helps keep the illusion of what you're trying to create inside the scene.
So you've moved into the Goblin Witch.
Oh, look at that. It's reminding me of like Shrek.
This is very labyrinth feeling because you have a throne, but this is also all black light. But it's not like punch you in the face black light. It's kind of calm black light. So you've got the hanging cages here, and this Halloween there'll be a platform there where the witch is, and she's got big wings and she's moving around there, and then one of her goblins is in here with a spear who's kind of jabbing at the cages, and he can jab down at the guests too.
Have you ever seen that experience at Universal, like
Yes.
where they had the queue line and they were in the crates and, for the whole queue line experience?
Yes.
That's
the building that Shrek is in used to be Alien Encounters, and I got to do some scenic painting on that when I was in Orlando. The show was right on the other side of this.
Right.
I just did a fun count. From the time you left the vampires until right now, there's 13 pop-outs.
13 pop-outs.
Yeah. So 13 pop-outs with about a 2-minute traverse.
So this is what we call a hub. So in here, you walk by this. There's a spot. This is the coffin.
Oh, okay. So we're in another area for the actor.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this is great.
And then here is another spot where they have a hit right here. This is backstage too. Mm-hmm. So then you walk right by this glass, and there's a button here to turn the light on so they can see you all of a sudden. And then you have a little reach out right here for them. You're reaching out between the shelves right here.
Right.
So again, one actor can do a lot of hits. Sometimes they have to be part of a wheelchair bypass. Mm-hmm. And then you have to be able to turn a wheelchair, so it's got to be 6x6.
And now we are in a little mirror maze. I used to have one in the darkness. It was something I got rid of.
Yeah, enough people say that they like it that I leave it. It's not my favorite thing, but people think it's fun. It's kind of like a vortex tunnel. To us, it's old hat, but customers still come out raving about the vortex tunnel.
Well, people love it. People are like, hey, I want to reinvent the wheel. I want to do something that nobody, it's like, if you get away from too many of the tried and trues,
Do something that is tried and true and skin it in a way that people have never seen before.
Right.
I think that's the recipe to success. These double doors right here are that room we were just in.
Yeah.
We were just in there. If we ever have an issue or we want to run a shorter show for something like laser tag or whatever, then we can actually open this up and the guests just come right this way. Mm-hmm. And then that makes the show shorter and you cut off the mirror maze.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we can cut off the mirror maze if we need to.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I just want to show you that.
You know what the top of it reminds me of?
What's that?
That super, corny 50s. Remember where the gorilla was wearing the...
Yes, with the almost the fishbowl head.
Yeah, and he was in outer space or whatever. Remember, if you put a little bit more to it, you'd have that big helmet.
That is a 200-gallon septic tank.
That's a septic tank. Okay.
That's a round septic tank.
I like how you did that. You did it with corrugated tubing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that unit there, not the dressing of it, but as much, but that unit there was, we were working on the lab, and Jake Farmer, who is my tech director, secondary director of the show, awesome guy, he said, can I have this corner? I'm like, show me what you're going to do. And he gave me a little drawing real quick, and then it's one of the coolest things in the room. So these light up too. So these are on a different breaker set. These are etched in. I didn't have a laser at the time that would do this, but now I do.
Do you have a CNC machine?
I don't have a CNC yet, but
you want to get one? Yeah, dude. CNC machines, they're
life-changing.
Yeah, they're life-changing. If you have people that know how to
hold by hand.
Yeah, on a CNC machine, it could have done that for you. We've done some stuff like that with a CNC machine. Yeah. It just comes out so nice. Oh my gosh! Look at the gigantic lab.
Yeah, so...
And you've gone pipe crazy.
You mentioned Hell's Gate.
Yeah.
And when I was at Hell's Gate, one of the things that stuck out in my head was how much they had scenery up high. Mm-hmm. And it really wasn't as interesting down below, but there's a lot of scenery up high. The people are blocking the view of the stuff down low anyway. So having your scenery up high, it also gives a snowing effect where you're looking up going, wow, and then an actor can pop up right in
the actor hide behind this?
No, but they can pop out right here.
Okay. Now, did you make Frankenstein up there?
We did. We have an actor who is 6'8", I think. You know how tall Chris is? He's 6'8"?
6'7.5".
Okay, 6'7.5". And then, so we made a tape form of him. We foam filled that, cut it up, and extended it. So he's actually 7.5 feet tall.
And what happened to his head?
It's on the shelf.
Was that a customer or a coworker?
Definitely a coworker.
Coworker, okay.
Or a bad Yelp reviewer. And I wanted to mix modern with old, so you have a very old-looking Frankenstein with these monitors showing his body processes up here.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody build like steel beams or pipes that high.
Why not?
Wow. I mean, that's crazy big. I don't think many people would go as far as you did to build it all the way to the ceiling.
If they're doing this, then... So my goal, actually, I don't try to scare people. I let that be the actor's job. Mm-hmm. My goal here is to make people say, wow, 10 times.
Let me ask you another question. So when the haunt is running, because I can tell you, like, I'm just going to be honest with you, okay? Like, I haven't been to a haunted house in, like, almost 20 years.
Right.
Okay? And I was shocked when I went to Haunted Overload, and he tells me he acts in the haunt every single night. And I'm like, well, then who runs your haunt? I mean, he's the chainsaw guy. He's acting every single night. And I was like, man, he's a 101. And then I go to Hell's Gate, and he does the same thing. John LaFlamboy acts in his haunt every single night. Nuts. I know. So now I will have to find out. I mean, I have to ask you, okay, because you teach acting and everything else. Do you act in your haunt every single night?
Yeah.
Every single night.
Why would I do this if I don't get to scare people?
So when the haunt is open, what do you do on a normal?
Sometimes I'll dress up as the Wolfman. Sometimes I'll dress up as one of my other characters. But I do, and I think a lot of haunts have what they call a manager costume, where it's some kind of a coat that you can put on real fast and take it off, you know.
But I mean, do you like when you get here, I mean, do you do the makeup or for the other?
So I have a director of makeup. And I have, so you mentioned chaos earlier. If you beat the chaos out of the system, then you can play in your show. So I have a director of makeup, I have a director of actors, I have an assistant director of actors. Boston's one of my makeup artists. We have a cast list, and they know exactly what spot they're going to be in because it's numbered, and that tells them where to go. And then that spot has a makeup job assigned to it.
So let me see if I get this straight, okay? You show up, you get in your costume, you don't run the haunt, you act.
Normally, I'll wait till we open. I'll go through once, see the show, give notes, and then I'll probably dress up or talk to guests, and when they leave the show, I'll talk to them some.
But you're in costume every single night.
I'll spend almost every night. Almost every night.
Wow. Like, I'll be honest with you, when I started my haunted house, I acted in it every night. I mean, but, as I've gotten older and the haunts have gotten bigger, and we have 3 of them, like, I have not even attempted to act in one of my haunted houses in over 10 years.
It's fun.
Yeah. I'm starting to realize.
You should do it. And that's what keeps me from burning out. In the haunt industry, you have this wonderful thing where I can focus on haunted house acting and make acting DVDs for 2 or 3 years. If I get tired of that, I can start on doing costuming and costume distressing. I can do DVDs for that if I want to or whatever, and then I can move on. And I learned that from John Denley. I learned that from you. It's the industry is so many different things that I can just change my focus, take care of these things, but change my focus. And I'm excited. I'm on fire about that, and then I can move to the next thing.
What do you think is a misconception about yourself in the industry?
So it depends on how people were exposed to me. There are some people who think Alan Hops is an actor trainer. There are some people who think Alan Hops is an actor. There are some people who think Alan Hops is an airbrush makeup guy. There are some people who think that Alan Hops is just a YouTube guy and does DIY stuff. But I'm just a guy who loves haunted houses, so I dabble in everything. And then I want to share. If I'm somewhere without my wife, I keep thinking over and over in my head, oh, I wish my wife's here. I want to show her that. I wish she could see that with me. And it's the same thing with haunting, but it's, man, everybody should know about this thing.
Is this your wife's full-time job as well?
Very soon, since she bought the haunt with me. So I married the enemy. My wife has been in the fire department. Did she ever inspect it? No, because as soon as we got engaged, it's she couldn't do anything with haunted houses because of conflict of interest. The city is very.
Did you guys ever sleep in separate rooms because of an inspection?
No, not at all. And that's one of the reasons, though, why I'm so safe. I want things to go smoothly at home. Like,
Yeah.
here's my inspection report.
So your wife worked for the fire department?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That captain in the Dallas Fire Department.
Wow.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Very proud of her and how hard she works and her accomplishments.
Yeah, that is amazing. Wow.
But there's a lot of times when her knowledge helps me, and my knowledge sometimes helps them out a little bit.
Well, that's awesome.
Zombie drop down, actor drop down.
I think, the one thing that I will tell you, Alan, is because of Facebook, right? When all the chatter was just on Hauntworld's Fright Forum, it was mostly just, haunt owners or people who were trying to make a living working in the industry. And now it's become like Halloween's gotten so big and home haunting has gotten so big. And people camp out in front of a Home Depot to get a freaking 12-foot skeleton, and it's just there's so many forums dedicated to it, and it's almost like a sin almost to be hey, I do this for a profit, I do this for a living. That's why I asked you that question, because I think a lot of people, the majority of people, because you do those DIY, hey, I'm helping the people who want to do this at home. Right? And then now you're becoming a for-profit haunted house. And do you think that is going to collide with the people who follow you?
That's actually backwards. In all honesty, when I started my YouTube channel, I wanted to make a library of techniques for pro haunted house people. Whenever they wanted to do something, they could just go look at the library of techniques and say, oh, I got to paint a stone wall. Here's how you do it. Oh, I need to distress this, piece of rusty tin or whatever. Here's how I do it. And I wanted to build that library. And the home haunters are the difference between a home haunter and a pro haunter is a home haunter spends time, pro haunter spends money.
Yeah.
That's really the only difference.
I would agree with that.
And the reason why there's animosity is because you can play poker without money, but it's a different game.
Right.
It's a different game. So it's such a different game, and you don't do the same things, you don't make the same choices because the stakes are very different.
I think probably...
I've never been a home haunter. I've only been a pro haunter.
I don't think today, especially on Facebook and in Facebook groups, you can have honest conversations as a haunt owner to try to get information like you can in the escape room forums, because there's not people doing escape room hobbyist, right? But in the haunt side, people are trying to decorate their whole house, they're trying to decorate a community center, and then if you even utter the word, right, of profit, it's oh, you should be doing this for the love of it. And that's about 98% of the people who talk in Facebook groups. So to me, I found it, difficult in these Facebook groups to talk about.
I think it's the background that I come from. We're close to the same age. We grew up with the internet. It started when we started, and I started on Fright Forum, and I still pop in there every now and then. But as it has moved, and I started YouTube pretty early in YouTube's game, and I'm just very fortunate that I got an audience at that point in time, so they already kind of knew me even by the time I got on Facebook, because I was already on YouTube before that.
Yeah, DIY on Facebook is huge.
Yes.
And Halloween is huge. DIY on Facebook is gigantic.
But one of the secrets to that, though, is some home haunters, let's say maybe 20%, want to go pro. So that audience that I'm teaching how to make vines, these were a YouTube video. Making these columns out of the plastic ridged roofing.
Oh, yeah, and you just bend them together and screw it together.
Put in a 5-gallon bucket, screw it together. And I taught them how to make that. So then when they start doing a haunted house, they're more likely to call me for consultation. They're more likely to call me and ask about airbrush makeup or whatever it is. So they're home haunters now, but a lot of them are going to be pro haunters in the future.
Let me ask you a question, because you do a lot of traveling to teach acting and this and that and the other. Now that you have all this responsibility here and with the ownership, do you really see yourself traveling that much when you really need to spend more time here, or how's that going to work?
Here's almost done. And I just bought a building and hired 10 people to help me be Alan Hobbs. So now I can go be Alan Hobbs. Whereas before, I didn't have any help. And now I have help. I have someone who is better at airbrush makeup than I am in Boston, and a great teacher.
Oh, look at that, Boston. You just got a compliment.
I have Penny right there, who is better than I am at set distressing. You know, and I have all of this talent here to help me do what I do even better. So will I travel as much? Yeah, I'll probably travel more, and I might bring 1 or 2 of them with me, and the other 7 or 8 hold down the fort.
Yeah, you know, I've always said that, you know, the next generation gets so much better than you so much faster because they get better at a younger age, and they got more time because, you know what, it's the people who came before them laid the groundwork.
Stand on my shoulders, make an awesome haunt.
Yeah.
But when I tell someone a tip, if I tell someone how to do something, then they're going to take it and they're going to filter it through their background experience. Like that guy who's making a foam tombstone is a plumber. So he has different things on hand that he's going to reach for. And then when he learns something new, he's going to tell me. So I made a YouTube video and I told 100 people how to make a foam tombstone, and I get 20 tips back of here's how to make that better.
Wow.
And then 2-3 years down the road, I make another video and I incorporate the best of those tips.
That's awesome.
Right now, I am full of joy and excitement for where I'm at. In buying Dark Hour, we have staff, but I'm doing something that very few people do right now. I have a haunted house. I have a company that produces media and content for haunted houses in the YouTube videos, whether it's haunted houses or home haunters. Doesn't matter to me because they love the same things that I love. And I make costumes and props for haunted houses all over and sell at Transworld. Those 3 things can keep me busy throughout the year and keep the staff busy throughout the year. I can make my line that I'm going to do for Transworld the year before and use it at Dark Hour, so it's tested when I take it to Transworld. You know, so it's a neat, fun place that I'm at, and not a lot of folks are able to do that.
Well, that's a lot of insightful information.
It's fun.
I think people are like, learning a few things about you, Alan. I know that I am, at least.
I love haunted houses. My life has been haunted houses. I worked my first haunt when I was 10, and I haven't missed a season yet. So
I'll tell you what, I got to start working out a little bit more to keep up.
Well,
I'm getting old.
round is a shape, as I am attested to. And if you have any questions or notes or whatever, but
So, like, we're in the Garden of Eden.
well, so you have gone into an area that is the witch's Huldra the Moss Wife. That's her. This is her area. So it's a garden. It's plants.
Yeah, I noticed you got a roof again, and you have the sprinkler heads.
Yes.
See, there they are, right
Yes.
there.
If the sprinklers were above the roof, it would not be good.
Yeah. Well, you've totally covered from the roof to the scene, and then you've properly brought the sprinkler head right down into the scene.
Yeah. Yeah, you can show my fire stuff. I'm pretty good with it. So this is a puppet that the actors use, and this is actually a version of this. I'm actually taking to Transworld this year with my Stilt B Studios. Go around that side. I'll just show you.
Oh yeah, let's go check it out.
It looks pretty unassuming on the front side. Like a lot of folks just walk by it.
Yeah.
But then you can flip it up.
Oh yeah, that is super cool.
And the whole wall kind of comes alive and attacks you. And there's a pedal back here that you can hit that makes a sound and a strobe.
These are garden hoses that, by the way, I hate them because they are just the worst hoses for water.
They leak like crazy.
They do. They're awful. Patty bought them. She thought they were great. I mean, they're awful. But I never realized that they actually do look like vines.
They look like vines. So this room has a lot of them. Originally, we had them hooked up to an air system where they would breathe, and you pumped air into them, and they would expand, and then you let the air out, and they would contract again. But you thought they leaked with water. Boy, did they leak with air. So it did not last long.
Is that a scare right there?
Yeah, this is a Scare Factory pop-out that we've redressed.
So how many animatronics do you have in the haunted house?
I use a daisy method. Okay, so what you're in right now is you're at the end of a daisy. So an actor is most effective at the center of the daisy because the guests are moving around them. So the guests are moving down and around this way. This is the end of the daisy.
Right.
So there's an animatronic scare there. Putting an actor there, they'd only get one scare. So that's where you put an animatronic.
When you go to Transworld, since you make a lot of stuff, do you go to Transworld expecting to buy a lot of stuff or not so much?
I only buy things if it's cheaper than me making it.
What are some of the things that you are looking for when you go?
I'm looking for new lighting. I'm looking for anything I can put in the set and add motion or movement. Not necessarily animatronic, but something smaller. I want there to be like $200 or $300 animatronics that's just a cat that looks around.
So like last year's show, what was your favorite thing that you saw there?
I don't get to see the show. I'm in a booth. Last year, I taught 8 classes. I taught 8 classes. So if you count 8 hours for being in class itself, leave half an hour early, answer questions, and get back half an hour later, I was out of my booth for 16 of the show floor hours.
Yeah, my favorite thing, and it wasn't really last year, but it was those shocker sticks. I really liked those.
We use a couple of those here in the Frankenstein's lab area.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
They're a good actor interaction.
Our customers love them.
This is the Bald Man Head Polisher room.
I should say hate them. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm getting a massage on my head.
Magic fingers.
So you've hung this like moss,
Yeah, this
ghillie suit stuff.
This is something that we, Rodney at Night Scream sells it. We sell it. It's moss cloth is what I call it.
Yeah, I buy it from Amazon.
It's 5 foot by 9 foot sheets.
Yeah, they sell it on Amazon.
Do they?
Yeah, I just bought like 3 boxes of it.
It's awesome. It's beautiful stuff.
Just
it's
type
also
in
fire treated.
Yeah, just type in like ghillie suit because it's from the same company that makes ghillie suits.
It's fire treated.
So this is something you would use like when you go deer hunting to like camo in. Yeah. So yeah, they sell it right on Amazon.
Now, this is one of our pieces here. And then we have a very classic old scare above.
Oh.
It's just a rope and a pulley.
There you go.
It's hard to go wrong with a rope and a pulley, and they rarely break.
Yeah. Dude, my older haunted houses were full of them, and they were like the best scares. And then as you get more and more, you forget about the things that still work.
So normally, like one night before the week we open, I'll go in and I'll hang up some fishing line. It's just down because $6 million haunted house. People come out. What was your favorite part? What scared you? Oh, the fishing line hanging down that felt like spider webs. But it's effective and it's old school and it's been in almost every haunted house that I've ever worked. And I like the old school stuff. So I keep doing this kind of stuff. And I think you have to just remember that works and keep doing it or keep reskinning it. I've done this same scare a bunch of ways. I've done it in an igloo where I tied styrofoam sheets to it so it looked like you were in a big igloo. And then when you let the button go, you let the rope go, it all falls down. And the styrofoam sliding on each other, it sounds like an avalanche. So I've done this same gag a bunch of different ways.
The things that we used to do a lot was we used to buy distortion spiders, and we used to put them on pulleys and drop them on top of people.
So this room here, this is what you would call an embarrassment because there's nothing in it right now. This will get finished before October. We took out what was here. There was a big rocking cage that the actor was in. So it rocked back and forth and made a lot of noise. And you go around the outside edge and the actor's on the other side doing scares.
Yeah, I know all about
Right now,
it,
there's
trust
nothing
me.
in here. So this will get a big tree of like bones and I got some of the 10-foot skeletons, some of the 8-foot skeletons, and a bunch of the regular skeletons. And this will be a tree that's kind of made out of bone and moss, and that'll be its big canopy as you go through. And then you're in our library.
What percentage of the show have we gone through so far?
We're probably, what do you think, 35, 40?
Yeah, I would say we're a little bit close to half.
Yeah, so 40.
What is the track up there?
So if you look over here, that's a platform, and hanging down is a cable, and the actor belts into a harness, and they can hang sideways, and they run.
And they run along the
sides of the room.
Yeah, so like basically for those people watching, this is like a big cylinder, and you're saying the actor can run
On the side of the walls.
Okay. How did you make the track?
I didn't. I wanted a legal buffer. So there's a company called Z-Tech, I think it is. I think they're in Kentucky. But they do all the flying rigs for the Peter Pan plays, for wrestling when they rappel out of the ceiling and stuff. And I had them build this unit when we first opened. And they come out every couple of years for maintenance, and we buy new harnesses every couple of years.
And I see there's a ladder over there. I guess that's how they climb up to it.
That's one way to get up to it, but normally we'll just bring the lift in and take them up.
Oh, awesome. Now, do you have actors to fight over doing this, or fight not to do it?
I think you're overestimating how fun it is to hang by your crotch for 5 hours.
No, I don't. That's why I'm at. You didn't hear the second part. I said, or fight not to do it.
It's not the easiest thing to staff, but when someone is on it and doing it right, they get an energy feed. It's a feedback loop, because they're really enjoying it, and the guests love it because the guests love it. So the right people do great. The wrong people should not have probably tried that. So this is another little actor. Wait right there, and I'll set this so that. Okay, so this is a door here, so I can come out the door and get a scare. I can do a drop panel on the first or second person in the group and get that scare. I can put it back up, expect the drop panel, and then I can open the door and come out and get a scare. But also, in here, this is the rope drop for the plant. And this is just a noise maker so they don't tear up the walls with a stick or something. And then I've got to reach through over here, and I've got a button for an air cannon down at the end of the hall.
Awesome.
That's another one you can pretty much expect.
Yeah, I see how you've painted the curtain to look like the wallpaper.
Because people, they look at it for a split second at the end of the hallway, and it just blends in enough.
Look at that. That looks really cool. A big old, another clock.
Yes.
And is something special happening here?
So you can see the actor has a pedal here. That changes the sound in the room, the lights in the room, and that triggers this ghost here to activate. And this is like a Dark Hour prophet is the character up here. You can see he's got book stands. So he's got like Necronomicon.
And it looks like that opens up there.
It does look like that.
Does something pop out?
No.
No.
It doesn't even open. It just looks like it.
Oh, okay.
But all those gears turn on that. All the gears turn over there in that section.
And you got another, what is this?
Okay, so in the beginning, this was a walkway that extended all the way to over there. We put an actor up there. The problem was the guests come this way and they never looked behind them no matter what that actor did. So if you look at that piece and see, notice how it's cut off. It became this platform down here on the ground.
I see.
So we just cut it off, brought it down here, put some legs on it.
Did you make the cutouts yourself?
I drew them on a napkin and then had one of my guys make them.
Now, see, that's a perfect project for a CNC machine.
It is.
Yeah, especially all the gears, everything.
The name of the CNC machine was Mike Square,
Yeah.
and he did all those by hand.
You have got
And
like
he's still mad at me.
something growing all over the walls.
Yeah, so this is from a cobweb gun. This was an experiment of just putting different things into a cobweb gun to see if I could shoot them. There's not one type of hot glue. There's like 600 types of hot glue. So you buy all these different types and you see what does what.
And you got mirrors
Yes.
for scares as well.
Yeah, so all of these open up. And there's a actor in that hallway back there to reach.
That's great.
And the goal is to hit the group beginning, middle, and end. The old gate latch. The gate latch is right here, but you put it up high so the guests don't see it or get to it. So this is backstage. This is an actor area. And this actor has, this window to see. They have this door to get a scare. Normally they'll have like a clacker glove or something right here that they can play with this with. They have a little curtain reach through here. They have a button and a scare here. Yeah.
You have some very spacious, actor areas for them to work in. A lot bigger than the ones we have.
So that area, this is actually a main thoroughfare of the haunt. This is the line down the middle. So if you look right here, would you hold this open for me? Riley, right?
Yeah.
Hold that open for me.
We found a use for
I'll
them.
hold this open. You go right from that hallway, straight run, and we can drive the lift through here.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it seems a
That's
little...
very cleverly designed.
We set it up, and all of
Wish
this...
I would have done mine like that.
All of this is just... That's just a desk that is not even screwed to the wall over here. It's all screwed to itself.
And you just keep going all the way
That
through.
slides, and now I go all the way to the other side, and I'll show.
Now we're in like Chinese.
This is Qi Lung, the Dragon Witch.
Okay. And this must be the spider. Reminds me of The Hobbit.
This, I freaking love spider webs. Like, I don't think you can have enough spider webs.
No, you remember The Hobbit when they fought all the spiders? Yeah. Yeah, that was really cool.
So this is a sheet maze that we changed up by adding some script to it. Of course, there's an actor in here, and they've got a bunch of scares. Three scares. Four scares. That same actor who was just over there can get a scare this week too. This is a
Unit 70.
yes, custom paint on it. I think we changed the space a bit.
When I come through there, I have to touch the wall.
Everybody does.
Why do you think I just have to do it?
And we just got a bunch of Structo light in. We've got a pallet of Structo light. So after the Friday the 13th, so at some point, we're going to spray this whole cave with basically gunite.
Why do haunts have to touch everything? Do you go to Universal Studios and find yourself touching
I
everything?
was once kicked out of a museum in Chicago because I would run my fingers along furniture and things that I should not have. I think we're tactile. We want to use all of our senses. So whatever the big monster du jour is right now, it's a quadruped dragon, comes out of here on stilts. This is hit elbow high, so they can hit the button, and that triggers a strobe light and a big speaker for roaring. I don't know where the speaker is, but it's around here somewhere. And these are mobile, so we could change up the configuration of this. We're changing this up next year to be a mermaid lagoon.
And I guess this is kind of carved out for an actor.
Yes, an actor can hit from that side.
And it looks like they can, once again, hit the other side.
I do not believe in bored actors. I want tired actors, not bored actors.
I agree. So one of the things I didn't ask you was, on a peak night, how many actors would you have?
I hit for 85.
85?
That might mean I could have 90, 95. I could have 65.
Do you have less?
Pretty rare, but
Do you have less actors on a weekday?
yeah, we're not open too many weekdays. We have some Thursdays and Sundays.
How many days of during the Halloween season are you open?
Last year we were open 22 nights.
22. And when is your first weekend?
Which, by the way, I think 22 was too many.
22 is too many?
I think we could have pared back some of those Thursdays and Sundays. We had too many. What was our first weekend? We try to shoot for the third weekend in September or the last weekend in September. What did you do this year with the darkness?
So on our first weekend, instead of being open Friday and Saturday, we just did Saturday.
Yeah, we did that too.
And we did the same amount of people if we would have opened Friday and Saturday, because typically in September a lot of people don't come, so you just open on Saturday.
Yep, we did the
and,
same thing
and you
this
squeeze
year.
them all in, and you save one night.
So that's a active scare there. And then this is a little actor run.
And you made all these bricks yourself, which gives it a lot more depth.
Yes.
Did you scrape out every single one of these by hand?
They were put up and then you wire brush. Now you get both sides at the same time. And this was, now his company is Darkwood Designs. Our first year, Kevin McMullen was here. His company's Darkwood Designs, and he did this. Oh, let me show you this scare. This is fun. I don't see it in a lot of places. So there's a chain, a pipe, with a bungee cord up top. So it just makes a nice noise.
Oh yeah, I see the. Well, it's hard to see it, but there is a.
Yeah, it's a big pipe, and there's a bungee cord all the way up to the top, and
So-
the chain.
There's a pipe all the way up, and I see some kind of bolt in there so the bungee cord can. Yeah, and it makes a lot of noise on the pipe. Yeah, that's really nice, Alan.
And it's cheap. So
Yeah.
if you really want to amp it up, you put one of those guitar pickup mics on it that meant to turn an acoustic guitar into an electric. You put that on the pipe, and then you run that to a speaker.
Wow. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's a door.
Oh, now we're in a tunnel with fireworks.
Yes.
So we're still in the Chinese section,
Yes, we are.
Dollywood.
I have not.
But they have a roller coaster where they have the same kind of fireworks.
Yeah.
It's a fireman's theme, and you go into a building where the fireworks go off and flames and explosions. Yeah, it's really
Have you
fun.
been to that? You're nodding your head.
Yeah. No, I love that ride.
You know which ride I'm
Yeah.
talking about? Okay.
It's like 100
I was telling Alan he should go to Silver Dollar City or Dollywood because the theming is off the chain.
Absolutely.
This is a Scare Factory animatronic. We wanted to put them in a little room with a big monster. That was the goal of that.
This looks like it would be filled with water.
It has been filled with water, and these have been
Waterfalls?
Waterfalls, yes. This year we did not do that because we had this whole area already underwater. This is the Sea Witch, so this area feels there's underwater lights and things. So if you look over there, customers never see it, but that's the cave that you were in, and that's one of those geodesic playground dome kits. And that's how I did the big roof of the cave. Tower.
Oh my gosh. Crazy Jim's live bait.
So Jim was an actor. He worked with me at Terror on Church Street in Skull Kingdom. He passed away a few years back, and this is kind of my little nod to
Oh.
my buddy Jim.
And that's Jim right there?
Yeah, yeah.
Did he work here with you?
He did not. He lived in Tampa, Florida. But we stayed in touch and stayed friends after.
So I have another question that everybody wants to know.
Okay.
If I, unfortunately, pass away,
Yes.
would there be some sort of nod to me? I want to know that. Would I get a sign that says Larry's trash can house? I don't know.
Yeah, you deserve it.
You deserve a dumpster. So what's funny is I actually had a dumpster. There was a hop sanitation dumpster for one of our shows in the graveyard, and actually did a high fall into the dumpster.
Now you have to promise me if something happens to me that in dark hour
You'll get a nod.
I need to get a nod. I need to know that. I need to know that.
Whenever I do like a graveyard, it's
Yeah.
always haunted house people. You know, it's always haunted house people all over.
You know, one time I went to 13th Gate, and he had a big cemetery, and he had a tombstone with my name on it.
Yep.
I was like, what the heck is going on here? There's a tombstone with my name on it. Like, what are you trying to put me in the grave? But it was very beautiful.
This is the laser swan.
Oh, yeah. We just added one to the darkness.
We had one when we opened, and then we just added this one back in this year. We've had it off and on.
Now, Alan, this video is going on YouTube and it's going to be there for eternity.
Okay.
So if something happens to me, people are going to call you out if I don't get
sure
the
they
nod.
I'm sure they will.
I guess so. Is there like an Egyptian witch?
There is a witch of swarms who was a Egyptian priestess of Khepri, who is the insect-headed god, and it's insect stuff.
And by the way, Ghost Rider are making bees and wasps.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that might be good in your...
It may be. So this is a puppet that we did in-house.
who made the giant centipedes?
Some Halloween store. We bought them.
They look great.
They're like $25 a piece. Yeah,
Oh.
I'm like, I need $400 worth of centipedes, please.
They look fantastic. Did you make that?
We did this. This is the same head as the flower.
Wow.
Just you dress it different, and you can literally shove the same giant thing at them. This is this is a hallway.
This would probably really creep people out.
The nickname of this is Boob Grab Hallway.
How often do you have to replace the arms?
I haven't had the issue. I haven't had an issue where anyone's tried to pull them off or anything like that. I think if it was just one in the hallway, you'd have that. But because there's 60 of them, they don't. I'm amazed at the things that don't get tore up here. So this is an old gag, the mirror here.
Oh, I didn't even see the mirror.
The mirror that someone could hide behind.
Yeah.
Someone were
That's very clever.
kind of thing.
Yeah, check that out. That's
I
really
went to
cool.
show you, and he was back there already.
You know what? Dude, seriously, like I didn't see it. I didn't notice it.
Most people don't.
And think about it being in the dark. There's no way I would have seen
We have
it.
lots of great video of people just trying to get away from the actors in here and just smacking right into it. Every now and then you got to come by and just bring off the forehead.
Dude, I absolutely did not see that.
Oh, so this room looks really boring right now. But there's projectors in here that have bugs running down the sides of the walls. And there's normally 2 or 3 actors in here. I want to get a slider in here, but I haven't been able to.
I think you could put a slider in here. You know, Slider Jesus, when he works at Hell's Gate, that's where he worked this year. And he was sliding on a porch.
Yeah. So this is there's a throne up there, and that's where Corva hived, or where that witch is. And this is her treasure room, which is her eggs are her treasure. So I don't ask how the eggs came about into being.
Now, since you're a classic movie monster guy, did you like the Mummy movies that Universal made in the early 2000s?
No, not really. Because they didn't. As soon as I heard that Tom Cruise was in it,
I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking
Brendan
about
Fraser.
Brendan Fraser.
Yes, those were fun because they let the Mummy be the star.
Well, I'll tell you why. I mean, they were okay. I didn't love it because I thought the CGI Mummy was hokey.
It was a little rough.
I would have rather seen a scarier, makeup appliance Mummy.
Scare.
Would you not agree with that?
I would rather a guy in a suit. Yes.
Yeah, same here.
Hey, Boston. Yes. Can you make a note that this is a decorative hinge at this point? Sure. And let's get that fixed. Good thing there's 2 others on that floor.
Tom Cruise's Mummy was just awful.
It was.
There was nothing redeeming about it whatsoever.
Without a mummy in it.
Yeah, it just made no sense.
And now you're kind of going into a cellar.
And then at the end, he's riding away in a horse. Are you excited about Universal Studios building a monster section?
I am. I'm very excited.
Are you going to be there on day 1?
I don't know if I'll make it to day 1 because I was at the Universal Park on its day 1 and it wasn't very good. I'll be there like day.
Well, you know they're
25.
building Frankenstein's Castle dark ride.
Yes. Yeah. And Castle Dark Ride.
Have you seen the blueprint? It shows you where there's a lagoon ride.
I haven't seen the lagoon.
It's
ride.
a future expansion. It's on the blueprints. And you know what that's going to be because it's going to be Creature in Black Lagoon boat ride.
We've moved into like a colonial America. So this is a canning cellar. This is, and just
what was that horror movie? Lacona.
Valorona?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and Universal did a whole haunt on it.
They did, which was great.
When I saw this, that's what I thought of.
Yeah, flowers on the head. I could see that.
And it's kind of like you're in a, like a Spanish hut kind of thing from a long, long time ago. Hold on, I gotta have some light. The classic push-through close.
Yeah, you know what? One of the shows that we had here, there were 3 separate closets that you went through.
And that reminds me of the
La Llorona a little bit.
Yeah, La Llorona.
And that's kind of a ghosty possession story, the way that most of the movies do it. And this is the demon speaker witch who is possession. So there's a lot of possession-y, demon-y things in this area.
And did you make that yourself?
No, that's I did not like it online, but then I saw it at, I think, Midwest Haunters Convention, and that is a distortions piece. Just one of the ones that just shake.
So, Alan, considering how you're like in almost every genre of the haunted house industry, what? I know you go to Transworld, and you just said MAC. Do you go to MAC every year?
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you go to horror conventions? Do you go to any of that kind of stuff?
Too many horror conventions. I don't see as much crossover as most folks do.
Well, but like shows like Spooky Empire, and then the big one in Florida, Orlando.
Yeah.
They literally Universal Tampa and SeaWorld all put haunted houses on the trade show floor, right?
Well, they did in the year that I went.
What show is that?
In like
what show is that in Florida?
Spooky Empire.
Right. Okay, so that one's supposedly like a kind of like a home haunter show.
And I've been to.
Do you go to those?
Sometimes I go to the bigger ones in LA, like I'm trying to think of the name.
Monsterpalooza?
I don't go to Monsterpalooza because it's a bad time of year for me. It has been in the past. I'll probably make it there this year.
Scare LA, yeah.
Scare LA is the big one. I've been to that a couple times.
Do you go there and speak, and did they reach out to you?
I have taught at some of those. Transworld has MHC, and they have Transworld, and mostly I just speak at Transworld now, most of the time. It's a bigger audience.
Yeah.
So this is a mixture of scene work and painting.
Yeah, that's great right there.
And this is the
Burning Witch.
not Fright Props. Fright Props now, but Adam's company.
Yeah.
Boy, I forget what's Adam's company?
Poison Props.
Poison Props. Yeah. Because now I associate with people as opposed to the name of the company.
What did you think of that animation they had last year with Adam like scribbling?
That was amazing. That was really beautiful.
That was funny, wasn't it?
What a great tribute. See, you want like a tombstone. I want like an animation maybe. Once I'm going like that. That was a wonderful tribute to him.
Would you like Ghost Ride to mold you?
Oh, I think that would be too telling. Give me a couple months to work out. So this is a shake room. So it rocks back and forth. It's on airbags. And there's
I mainly meant your head because he molds lots of heads, and he mixes and matches and makes bodies.
I have a lot of molds of my head. I've probably done 20 or 30 head casts in my time. When I lived in Orlando, I was a model for the Joe Blasco Makeup Center, their advanced prosthetics course. So they'd have me come in and they'd mold my head, and mold the body, and then make monster suits.
If he molded my head, would you buy that and put it in your haunt?
It's a possibility.
He wanted to mold. I'm like, I have anxiety issues, okay, like crazy. I don't think I could take it.
But you have to be okay with whatever anyone was going to do to your head that they purchased.
Yeah. Have you ever molded your own head?
I've had other people mold my head.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I heard you just have to breathe through a straw.
No, you don't want to breathe through a straw. Normally, you just breathe through your nose.
Wow, I don't think I could take that.
If the person wants you to breathe through a straw, I would probably get someone else to mold your head, to cast your head.
Yeah.
This is a push puppet, big push puppet, hit a button. That was a Gorgalore that we remodded a little bit.
Yeah, we've only started to mold things at the Darkness like over the last couple years, but nothing like a human. So we've never done that.
If you need less than 5 of something, it's normally not worth it. But if you need more than 5, you should probably just sculpt it, make a mold, do it yourself. This is a tracker cabin. You're now in the Wendigo Witches area.
And what did you make these out of?
So this is just it's a heavy cardboard sheet called ram board. And this is 2 layers of ram board, and these are cut 11 inches long. We've only given them 8.5 inches of space. So it just makes it naturally bow out. and that's what makes it all look like a cabin. And then we did liquid nails over top of it to get the texture.
Awesome.
And this is the wigwam village of the Red Woman.
Oh, this looks great.
Well, and when you're in the scene, it's snowing. Actors are hidden through the wigwams and whatnot.
Yeah, a lot of your haunt is like where, no matter almost where you're walking, you can see, you know, through to something and see.
It's a mix. Like you just came from the trapper cabin, and that's closed. And then you go into an open space, and then you go into a closed space. Open space, closed space. So you want to hit all the notes, I think.
Look at the awesome totem pole. Did you make the head for it?
I made all of it.
You made all of it? Looks great.
This was mostly on a YouTube video. These are all. This is aluminum foil with liquid nails over top. Drywall joint compound, then liquid nails.
And I like your huts. They look great.
Well, we just looked at how the wigwams were actually built. And it was strips of birch bark, so we used canvas tarp that was painted. And then if you look in that one, you can really see how they're built. We did a wooden frame at the bottom and then PVC pipe. And some of this is split PVC pipe. And it's all lashed together the way that a wigwam would be.
And let me guess, this is a tunnel? And then an actor can jump out right there.
Behold the fury of a vortex tunnel.
Yeah, I really like how you've painted these walls.
Thanks.
And did you make these, I'm assuming?
So these are from a haunted house that was in the Dallas area called American Scaregrounds. And it was downtown Dallas, and it was there for many years. And when they closed down, they had an auction, and these went to a haunter. I think it was Bart Butler at first when he had the haunt house. Mm-hmm. That's how long ago.
Which ended up near St. Louis.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
And by the way, I was in Dallas once for a auction when Jekyll and Hyde closed.
Yep.
Over at the Grapevine Mills Mall or whatever. Yeah, I was there and bid on a bunch of stuff, and Lance Pope was there.
Yep.
And I'll never forget, because when the animations came up for bid, okay, it was like, you know, it gets up to like 18,000, right? And everybody bows out, okay? And they said to Lance, they said, okay, which one do you want? He goes, all of them. So you're going to pay 18,000 for each one? He goes, no, I thought I was bidding on all of them. They're like, no, you were bidding on first choice. And he's like, oh, I don't want to pay $18,000 for one. I thought so they had to start the whole thing over. But yeah, Lance bid $18,000. He thought he was getting them all. And I remember Todd James was there. And
those were all life formations pieces.
Yes.
So each one of those is worth $18,000.
Yeah. Well, probably a little bit more then, but a lot more now.
Oh yeah.
He wants like $50,000-$60,000 for him. But I remember Lance got the piano player. And he also got the
granny.
The granny.
Yep.
But no, he already had the granny. He bought that himself from Life Formation. I'm talking about what he got at Jekyll and Hyde. Todd James bought a lot of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got the Frankenstein set and almost got killed taking it apart.
Nice.
I mean, literally, I came within a whisker of death.
It's good to have a story.
Yes. It was a scary story.
So these were at American Scaregrounds. They went to one haunter. That haunt closed down. And they went to a different haunted house, and that haunted house moved, and then they said, hey, do you want these? And I said, yes.
You know, Alan,
I worked for 5 years until I slapped them up here.
This is the right move for the rails. I see people just using, you know, like flimsy stuff, and, you know, people get dizzy in there.
Yeah, people fall on those. And ours is, I took Ben's advice from Netherworld, and so that's a glow-in-the-dark vortex tunnel, not a blacklight vortex tunnel.
Oh, there's a guy exposing himself.
So now we've entered into the Nightmare Witches area, and this is like what's in storage, anything goes. Because it's a nightmare, so there's a lot of
Jeremy, that'd be a good TikTok.
weird bat monsters.
So Alan was just pointing out the 30-foot spider up there who's encased in cobwebs. with the flasher.
Now, if you want to backlight it, it shows up great. It depends on how you light it. You can disappear or whatnot.
Oh, look at this umbilical cord.
Bet you can't guess the scare in this room.
Well, there is quite a few characters. I'm assuming one is dressed up as, okay.
Dressed up like that.
Yeah.
And this is a nice little corner because you can get a hit in that room, actually. You can get a hit in the room with the baby, and you get a good hit here.
Okay, like you're describing as a hit, like this is where you can hit them.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I've never heard it described that way.
Impact. You want to hit them. You're not actually hitting them.
So what happens in here?
So this is so weird. So this looks bad right now because we're not in show light. There's a character in front of the moon. That's our Nightmare Witch, and it's a very powerful silhouette, red glowing eyes, and they're belted in up there, and they're just moving around. And then there's ultrasonic misters down here, and there's red lights that hit the water. There's a little bit of movement in the water, and like there's little fountain air hits. You can see there's one over there, and there's a little one right here.
Do you have an actor walking around?
No, there's no actor here. That's the focus. This is a lot of real estate for just a visual, but it sticks in their brain. And then this is really dark. And this is the exit front. I normally hate black wall panels in the haunt. I want it to be something other than that. But there's a lot of pop-outs for actors there, over there. And there's, a lot of loudspeaker noise. Here's a speaker, another actor hit with this button controls the speaker. And this actor has a scare right here as you go into that area. Noisemaker.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool. That's it. That's all it takes.
Yeah. They scream on the other side.
Yeah, I love it.
Don't overthink it.
Yeah, dude, you're 100% right.
Well, here's what's funny. Right next to each other. This is a board and a hinge, and that's a noisemaker. And this is a button to a $1,000 speaker to a $300 controller to make this work. And this is a screaming noise. There's a light that flashes right here as this actor comes out of the curtain. So this is also a noisemaker. This is just the $1,500 version, and that's the $3 version.
So basically, you come out right here, and I guess that's like a photo op.
Yeah, photo op.
And
now we're off season, so it's a little weird out here.
yeah, and this is where you're going to build a giant retail store.
Yes.
Have you seen the one that we did?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, when you're in St. Louis, come on out. I'll show it to you.
Watching your videos on your retail store to steal ideas.
Thanks for showing us the haunted house.
Absolutely.
Okay, but I have to ask you, let's go behind the scenes and see, where you create the magic, whether it's for the actors or your shop. Can you give us a tour of that?
Absolutely. This is the back half of the show, the building. And we're in the middle of building a couple things right now. Shop's a little messy, but not terrible.
Wow, dude, you guys have a massive backstage.
Yes, we'll get there. Let's go this way first.
And once again, you're making me
Building a dragon head right now for how to go in the sewer.
I have to tell you, Alan, I'm starting to really hate you right now because I see how organized everything is, and you're just making me feel bad about myself. I'm just letting you know.
You're welcome.
I might have to hire you to come and help us
You
organize.
can take the video and just CG in a bunch of mess.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, maybe would you be okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is what we call the paint room.
Wow, and you got big molds
It's
in
got our
here.
paint storage cabinets and stuff in it. So this mold is the head that was in the puppet in the chapel in the very beginning, the big pumpkin-headed thing. This mold right here, that's a giant eel. This mold is the big flower centipede head. If you look in there, it's a negative.
Yeah, that's. I mean, Alan, it's really incredible. You're doing all these things yourself, and it's just so organized. It's just incredible.
So personally, I'm a mess.
I can't tell.
Let me be honest.
I can't tell.
But
You should come to my place. And
I ask the crew to be clean because, and sometimes I have them clean up behind me because I'm a little bit of an artistic storm sometimes. Well, the only thing that I harp on most of my work is for, hey, can we clean this up a little bit?
Riley, what do we have to do when we have to?
I clean up and organize
We have to get
stuff.
40-foot dumpsters because it's out of control.
Well, then I clean and organize the whole thing. Takes me a week and he ruins it.
And then a couple days
He
later,
ruins it.
So there's a lot of, so this year we had about 100 masks in the gift shop and sold out except for 2 or 3, I think. And so we're making a lot of masks just to sell in our gift shop for October. But that's something that we want to do going forward is really stock that well. So we have that year-round Halloween store. We have fiberglass molds. We make our own prosthetics here, our foam latex prosthetics. There's an oven for that around the corner. Not that those mixtures are...
yeah, I was going to say I saw the microwave. I see that little oven over there. I didn't
There's
see
a
like...
big foam oven around the corner.
Dude, I love foam latex masks.
It's the best.
Because actors don't mind wearing them.
Yeah, well, we have a couple foam latex masks. We have a lot of prosthetics and stuff that we do. Like that foam latex, it's just so soft and pliable and lightweight.
And you make all of it yourself.
Our team makes it.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant.
I have to be you got to be careful about that because there's things that I say, hey, I need a skull with horns. Did I make that? Oh no, I told someone to make it, and maybe I gave them art direction on it. I was involved. It was made at my behest, but I don't do any of the work on it. Now, a lot of the stuff I do get to do work on. Some of it I don't.
Is this like a big thing to suck out the fumes?
It's a Venahood.
Yeah.
Yep, it's a big Venahood. If we were doing fiberglass in here, then we'd move a table to the middle of the room. This room is a little bit trashed right now, and it needs cleaned up badly.
Hey, did you make this?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to take it with me as a souvenir. I like it.
It's a good bug.
Yeah, no, well, you know,
Bugs go.
it would be a great little accent piece to the wall.
There was a bunch of those in the room with all the eggs, but we didn't have it lit to show them all.
You know what I would do with it? I would have a series of them and then maybe connect it with something and then spray it with concrete to make it look like it was chiseled out of the wall.
Gotcha. And so we molded this piece, just one mold, and then the legs are all EVA foam that we attach.
Yeah, I love it. I was serious, like if you want to, like, you know, let me have it. I'll take it with.
You have a need for a giant scarab?
Well, dude, like I've never seen a giant scarab, so
You'll probably see some at Transworld.
you know, it just dawned on me like somebody needs to make scarabs.
Well, there's a lot of them. Do you know that you can't buy a rubber snake right now at Transworld?
Why?
There's not a vendor there who sells them.
That's crazy.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, it is nuts. I didn't think about
If
that.
you go to Transworld and you look for what's not there, and then that's your product.
You know, many years ago, I had Bo. I'm the one who had him do that. Make that rattlesnake with the air cannon in it. So
that
it's
thing is beautiful.
Yeah, I asked him if he could make me a striking rattlesnake by just putting an air cannon in its mouth, a water blaster, I think it was, and he made that for me. I don't even know where mine is anymore. I'll have to ask him if I can buy another one.
It was a 10-foot rattlesnake, Larry.
I don't know. I don't know what happened to that thing.
Oh, it's in there.
No, not that one.
So you asked if I had my head cast,
Yes.
and
Hey, look, it's the Jumanji people.
that one is me.
Look at that.
That's my head under there. So,
I think we definitely need to mold your head now.
but
Yeah, I
this
know.
area is all
I'm gonna
getting
put it on a
cleaned out
stake.
now because I'm probably not going to do a St. Patrick's Day show again for a long time. So this stuff is all going to a haunt garage sale for other haunts.
Well, you heard what he said. That's why I asked about the head. Because, you know, he said, yeah, I want your head up, and then I want to put it on a stake.
I'll put it on
You
a
know.
stake.
See, people are going to do stuff.
Yeah,
I
they're
had
gonna-
a cardboard cutout of myself at Transworld.
And there's going to be a
I was
giant
barely-
hole caved in the mouth.
I was barely
So-
in my booth.
At least 5 inches.
Or maybe a gag ball in the mouth. You know, maybe that would work. You know, people probably would buy that, like a Larry head with a gag ball.
Here you go.
Right in the mouth.
You can have a turkey leg.
Oh my gosh.
Just
Well,
take that
thank
home with
you.
Put that in your pocket.
Did you see the video about Six Flags, the turkey leg video? St. Louis, where they raided the turkey leg and knocked it over and everybody stole the turkey legs? It's on YouTube. You can
That
watch
sounds
it.
delicious.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff. Yeah. So yeah, so that's storage.
Snowmen.
Yeah, this is some of the Christmas stuff. You guys heading out?
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Want me to leave these lights on and turn them on?
Leave it on. I'll turn them off when I go out.
And there's never a better place to store stuff than suspending it up into the ceiling.
That's right.
Because we've done that at the Darkness.
Yeah, if you have the room, get it off the floor.
So what's left to see? I guess the actor's room?
Well, this is the actor's room. Right now we're off season, but see all the lockers?
Yeah.
Lockers. There's
Couches, chairs.
right now again we're way off season, so we're organizing things in a different way. Here's our spray station for our. Every couple of months you go through, you do your fire retardant.
Oh, and then you also have the acid in case you have to get rid of a bad actor.
Yes.
And then you, just like in Breaking Bad. Look at this. You have a ton of the
Stilts.
like how many actors do you have on stilts?
About 7.
Really?
Yeah.
Even in the haunt too?
Yeah.
Wow.
6 in the haunt, 1 outside.
Wow. You even have more up there.
Yes. I like stilts. Stilt B Studios and all. Here's our air compressor.
My God. I've never seen one as big. How many air compressors do you have? 2?
We have 2 screwdrivers.
And then you have that reserve tank. Jesus Christ.
There's double that throughout the haunt in piping overhead.
Okay.
Double that amount of air in the pipes overhead running through the whole show.
Man, that's crazy.
Fog fluid. That's our graphic design office. That's our first aid office. This is our casting office.
You just got it all going on here, Alan.
What? Well, right now there's a lot of stuff in weird places, so this is not clean.
And then you have a mask room.
Yeah, that was the mold room back there where I showed you foam latex. But let's go to costuming and makeup.
Yeah, let's go. Before we see the next room, one of the things I noticed back here in your actors area is that you have, every year of the haunted house, you have a banner with all of your actors, I'm assuming, have signed it.
Yes. They're important to me and I want to honor them.
Wow. That's a great idea, Alan. So it's
Here at the cast party, after the season is over, we have one of these out and the cast get to sign it.
hey, we didn't go in this room.
Well, I'm working on it. You're going off plan.
And then you have more posters.
That, because the ones up there are actors don't get to see those.
Mm-hmm.
It's important for the actors to see what we have done.
Alan, that is let me ask you a question. Have you lost any actors over the years?
I mean, died?
Yeah, where they have their signatures up there?
We've lost a few.
Yeah. And there's
Yep.
yeah. And that's pretty cool that you have that
Remember
documented.
As best you can,
And you have that all documented.
Yeah.
We have Cameron on the wall.
So this isn't. None of this is on, but these are security cameras. There's banks of cam. Now it depends on what breakers are on, because some of the cameras are tied to breakers.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they may not even pop right up. I don't know.
And you said you have how many cameras in the haunt?
About 100.
And then I noticed you have this map of the haunt, and I guess is that showing you where you have the cameras?
No, this is just a map of the haunt so that dispatch can tell security where to go.
Okay. That is very organized. Once again, I like disliking you more by the minute.
Great.
He's just making me look bad to my son.
Honestly, the more organized we are on the front end, the more I can play and goof around with
Right.
we're open.
No, but in all seriousness, that's fantastic.
All right, so I don't have the cameras on, so I'm gonna turn these guys off.
But I'm going to get an earful from Riley saying, Dad, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do that?
There's, I think, 16 cameras here, 16 on this one, and those 2 monitors are scare cameras.
Mm-hmm.
These are for security. They're more of a room view, and those are scare cams right on people's faces, and so are those.
Do you have any kids?
No.
No?
No.
If you did, do you think they'd be doing what you're doing?
I have no. I can't even fathom children. Yeah, it's something that I've done.
Because you're kind of like a grown child, right?
Yes, and I wouldn't want to put my wife who's raising me and someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a recognition board. So this is anyone can grab a little Post-it note and slap a board up here, and slap a note up here, thanking someone or telling someone that they did a good job.
Jacob, you are a hero.
And Jacob is a hero. That guy's awesome.
And how long do you leave him up here before you take him off?
When this is totally full, I will probably save this and put it up there, and we'll put a new one up.
So you encourage your actors if they just want to leave a Post-it note.
Positive note, yes.
And do your actors come in and try to read it every day?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because they line up right here to go to costuming.
Oh, I see. That's Alan. I mean, I have to give it to you. That's clever.
End of the night costume repair board, the name of the character, whatever the issue is with the costume.
And the actors do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they know they caused the problem. This is not in terrible shape, but it's not amazing for us being open next week.
So this is where they come in. That's the counter.
They'll come in. They will give. When they check in in the back by the casting office, and we log them into. Right now, we're using Haunt Scheduler. We log them in the Haunt Scheduler. They get a number. They bring that number to here, and then they give the number to the person.
What is all this?
Everybody who works here. It's just their.
Is it changed every year?
I'm sure we'll switch it out for next year. Yes.
That's awesome. It almost makes me feel like I'm back in elementary school in a way, you know?
Give them
where you feel like you're part of, you know, because you like in elementary school, you never leave the room, right? So they become your,
hang out
like,
right there. But when the actors come, I wish we had a cast list here for one of the other shows, but they have a cast list, and then all the hangers are here by the number of what's going to be in the show. And then, so they'll take one of these, and it's got the actor's name on it, as well as the number.
I have a question for you. But to finish, I wanted to say, like, when I said, you know, elementary school, because, you know, when you think about elementary school, you have one teacher, and you don't move classes, right? You do everything in the same class. So those 30 people become your, like, family for an entire year.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, you know, it feels like, you know, you're in elementary school. Because, like, when you're in high school, you bounce around room to room to room all damn day. And in elementary, like, those people...
You're going to park there for a while.
Yeah, you're going to be there, and those are going to be your friends for the whole entire year. That's it. I mean, it's incredible. But I have a question.
Build that with your cast. I think you should.
No, I mean, like, yeah, I'm, like, learning a lot of stuff from this, like, trip. I hope the people who watch the video, take the same things away that I am. I mean, these are very clever things to keep your staff, like, very close to, where the attraction is close to their heart.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question, because I really don't understand. How the hell you get those down?
Turn around. There's a ladder right here.
Uh-huh.
And this ladder, this is on wheels. Mm-hmm. You push that down, then you can roll it over.
And that still won't reach that.
Then you have these hooks.
Yeah.
Which you go over there with your steps, and then you hook it, and you unhook it.
And do you use that for, like, snake wrangling as well?
You could. You could use it. Probably one of the shorter ones for snake wrangling.
You got rattlesnakes in Texas.
They would get inside your guard too easy, I think.
Are there rattlesnakes in Dallas?
Absolutely.
Have you ever seen one?
I've seen one near my house.
Really? Mm-hmm. And you know what? You know what to get.
Right. So, yeah, but...
How many costumes do you have in here?
Enough.
And then you got a whole nother row up there.
Now, in my dream,
mm-hmm.
all of these would have an RFID tag on them,
mm-hmm.
and then you could scan it and know, like, what costume it went with, and that should tell you where it goes in the system. I'm not there.
And you have sewing machines. Yes. Like, I don't have any of this stuff. Like, Alan, you're really making me look bad.
You have laundry, right?
I can tell you this, Alan. I was thinking about doing a behind-the-scenes tour of my own haunt,
We do behind the scenes tours.
No, I know. I mean, I've done like, where I walk through,
Yeah.
but I was talking about like the behind the scenes where you show the scares and you show this, but I'm not doing it now. Okay. I just can't do
Because
it.
of being here?
Yes, because of being here. I can't do it.
Well,
so
and we have
I'll make myself look bad.
3 industrial washing machines and 3 industrial dryers.
Now, see, you showed me up again because I bought 2 washing machines. No, I bought 1 washing machine, 1 dryer, and you have,
And
a combination
someone
of
is here
6.
every night
Yeah.
until about 3 or 4 in the morning, making sure that the laundry is out and drying for the next.
And you do it all here.
It's all done here. Yeah. We just got done washing all the snowballs for the snowball fight because we had a snowball fight for our Christmas show, and now we're gonna get there, Larry.
Oh,
We're gonna get there. Just a door in.
I was going to say, it looks very organized again.
No.
So you had a snowball fight. What is that? They threw these?
Yeah. These are artificial snowballs.
Okay.
And so those were in where the wigwams were.
Uh-huh.
That area, we had 4 actors in there who 2 was one side, 2 was the other, and they would throw them back and forth and give them to the guests so they could throw them.
I will say, though, at the same time, I would say most haunts, Alan, do not have this much space to do what you're doing. And you have it, and you're doing it, and it really kind of shows like how important it could be.
I just want to do it right.
Yeah.
I just want to do it right.
I think you have at least, maybe 6,000 or 7,000 square feet dedicated to support of your actors.
Yeah. I mean, they're a good chunk of the show. I'm actor driven.
I'm talking about like where they,
but I'm actor driven, so I want to support them so that they, do a good job, so that they make it through all night and they want to come back.
Incredible. And look at this. You have all these pictures of actors, and you put them all over the wall.
Yeah.
Some of your favorite.
Be recognized.
Yes. Yeah, I'm.
Dressing rooms. We have dressing rooms for.
Oh my gosh.
Dressing rooms so that the actors can.
That is crazy.
They come in, they get their costume. They get their costume from there, and that's on a hanger. And then they can change, put their clothes on a hanger that goes in their locker. End of the night, they can change back and then give the costume.
And you got a bunch of theater seats for the.
While they're waiting for makeup, and there's more chairs out here during the season, but those folding chairs are up front now. So our makeup room was being used to distress costumes today. But there's 8 airport stations. We don't normally use that many, but those are kind of throughout. Probably 90% of the masks in here, maybe 95, we made ourselves, or we heavily modified from something we purchased. There's a couple of the Heather Henry masks, the High Noon Creations masks around. That's an old Elusive Concepts mask down there on the end. That's an old mask. There's some Heather Henry skulls. Most of this we made. There's not a lot.
And it's just so organized.
We went to that little Greek area, so there's a Minotaur that we use over there. There's Cyclops that we use over there. There's some Egyptian stuff that's set up over here for our Egyptian section.
Amazing, Alan. And you got effects books and all kinds of stuff. It's like you got it going on in here, Alan.
I haven't showed you the VIP rooms.
Oh, can we see the VIP rooms?
This is one of our VIP rooms. If you buy a VIP ticket, you go to actually into the exit door, and then the VIP concierge picks you up as a group. You get your lanyard when you check in over there. They bring you here. You can put your stuff down, and then they've got a door that shoots right into the front of the line.
And it looks like you got some scares that they can press buttons on.
Yeah, we have scare cameras throughout the show. There's 4 different, and they're not on right now, but the scare point where the scare comes from is marked. That way you know how to do your timing. And then you hit the button and you can make scares happen.
I love the wallpaper.
So there's 4 of those.
And then they get little snacks.
Yeah, there's little snacks and there's drinks.
And so how much does it cost to do the VIP?
I think it's $125.
Holy moly. And then how long can they stay in here?
Each VIP slot is an hour and a half. And they go through the haunted house one time, come back here, and then they go through a second time, and then when they're out, they're out.
I think you need a couple horror pinballs.
I don't want them to camp out, you know? Oh, and we also showed them a movie of the making of Dark Hour. A lot of times we'll shoot content just for that show and show the making of. There's a projector there for that.
Well, that's just amazing. So,
These guys have been here since 10 a.m., so.
are you guys tired?
I bet they are.
So, hey, when you guys come to St. Louis, we'll, try to give you a tour of the darkness. And we want to thank you guys for, spending your time with us, and you too, Alan. Really hits home the most is, of how you are interacting with your staff and making them feel like, they're part of your family.
We worked very hard on culture this year, and this year for sure we've been hitting culture really hard because I think that a lot of haunts were in a staffing crunch a couple of years back. And with the shift in culture, if you make a place where people want to be, it turns out they keep showing up. One of my goals is I want to have the nicest haunted house. That's the nicest haunted house I've ever been to. Because I haven't heard a lot of haunt owners say that was their goal. So it's nice. The bathrooms are nice. You have options for really nice rooms to hang out in. I try to make the sets nice. It's nice for the cast. I want it to be nice.
Let me ask you this question. What do you do for your staff outside of the things that we've seen? Do you take them out during the year? Do you have functions throughout the season? Do you guys...
We just had a party. Of course, we had a holiday party just recently. A lot of it's stuff here. We don't do too much stuff out. My plan this year is, though, I'm negotiating to get them all tickets to the Haunters Ball that happens at the Texas Haunters Convention, so that they all have tickets on us. So that's something that I want to do.
Is that here in Dallas?
Yeah, it's about 30 minutes away from here.
Awesome.
But, anything that we can do, because I want them in the haunt community as well as Dark Hour, just to enjoy.
Riley, what was your favorite thing that you saw?
You should have seen the bathroom I just cleaned for him. I almost died from bleach.
Alan,
Hope that makes
this is why I said I'm not doing a behind the scenes tour of the darkness now, because I'm going to get an earful.
Just all that stuff, any organization that you have, the better you have on that end, I just think it helps make your show better, and in a cluttered room, every piece of clutter and bit is either a project I haven't finished, or it's something that's undone or I want to start. And having it nice and clean and tidy, that's the state of my brain. And that's, I think, when ideas flow the best. They're not stagnated by all the stuff in the room.
I think we have to get back to St. Louis and start building better bathrooms. We have to build changing rooms and
Get the fancy black toilets. That's important.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, Alan.
Thank you, Larry.
We just visited Dark Hour Haunted House. It was absolutely great. It's just another haunt that really focuses on their staff, their actors, and puts a lot of time and effort and care. It's a long video. I hope you loved it. Riley, what did you like about the haunt?
It's got a lot of old school vibes.
Yeah, it does. A lot of great scares, incredible areas for the staff. So thanks for watching the video. We have a whole bunch more coming. Make sure you like and subscribe to the page, because we have a whole bunch more behind the scenes stuff coming from some big haunts that you really wouldn't expect. All right. Happy Halloween, everybody. Until the next time.
For scary videos and more, subscribe to our YouTube page, Hauntworld.com.